I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you for being a part of this. We've done a couple of sessions of this already. This was an idea that was floating around through once we were all kind of being creative about how to stay at home. So we have a couple of these guys you know very, very well from the pre-professional program, and I am really, really excited to kind of just get a chance to ask you some questions and have these guys ask you some questions about life and ballet and dance and everything. And just, I look up to you so much and you've been a huge influence. So I'm going to just turn this over to these guys so that they can start just getting the ball rolling. So I'm going to mute my mic. Who has a question for Mr. Rolando Yanes? Well, actually, Rolando, I was curious because I don't think I've ever heard the story about how you kind of your first experience with classical ballet, like what made you kind of go, wow, this is something I want to go to school for this. I want to, kind of, what was your first experience? Because I know we all have those stories of, we see it somewhere or we hear about it or our families are in it. So I was kind of curious what your story is, how you got into ballet.
Well, for me, it was different. I started in ballet in Cuba when I was around 8 years old. They were doing this promotion in radio to try to get more male dancers into ballet. And it wasn't advertising through all the radios in the country. And they were doing audition in every city. And I went to do the audition. It was around 200 people for 10 spots. And then, all the audition, they were really tough at the time. But honestly, I didn't know what ballet was. My dad just took me there and said, I want you out of the street. And then he took me to ballet. And I got in and I started falling in love. I was around 13, 14 years old when we started doing more dancing. And then we were going to festivals and performing with other schools and seeing the professional company dancing. That's when I started going like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. It was a different view that just taking class every day with no, that's the training, you just train and then later come the fun part to dance. But for us in the beginning, it's no fun to dance, it's just training. Then later on, when you get older, you have that opportunity. And that's when I really fell in love with ballet.
That makes sense. Yeah, because you have the strict, you guys, it's the great Cuban training, the strict, like the Soviet training and the Russian training and the British training. You start very, very boring, facing the bar and all of those things. Yeah, interesting. So it kind of came later, the freedom, than when you started putting it together. That makes sense. Cool. All right, hopefully these guys have had a moment. Yes, Ariana, go for it.
What's your favorite ballet that you've either seen or danced?
For me, my favorite ballet was Giselle, and it's one of my favorite because one was one of the most special occasion for me in my career. I was able to be coached by the big maestro Fernando Alonso, and I was 19 when I did that ballet. I was really young, and it was like intensive coaching. Like I was telling you guys sometimes. Like to walk from one corner to the other will take me 2 hours rehearsals. Then it was that detail. It will take 6 months to just rehearse that ballet before you could dance it. Then that did a big mark in my career and in my life. The whole story, how it developed. But working with Fernando, I think that was Fernando Alonso was the greatest experience I could have in my life.
I love pretty much everything. I like La Bayadere, and I love Swan Lake Act 2, especially when it's raining. Oh, I love that. I got into the mood. But same as Rolando, I was really, really young. I enjoyed the company when I was 19, and then they were doing Giselle. So for some reason, I don't know, because I was tall, they picked me to be Batilde. And Fernando Alonso was the one who coached me to. So it was, like the pantomime was like a really slow motion like that. That guy, that maestro was, I think, the best motivation, inspiration that pretty much every Cuban dancer had with him. He was amazing. But I can say I love Bayadere, the whole music, Swan Lake Act 2, and Giselle, because it was the first time that I really need to, I felt what is really work with a professional teacher, like that. Was that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, what an icon. I can only imagine what that was like. Do you have any, do you remember anything in particular, certain things he would say or advice that he would give that these guys would find useful?
Well, I remember when I went into the company, it was like 4 ladies more with me, and the first month we were taking, because it was a group A and group B, no? So the top class was group A, no? And then we were in the group B because we were really young. And one day he talked to us and said, well, I want 5 of you, the new ones, to come to take class with group A. It's like top dance, and you're so, yes, it was like that. So we used to take 3 hours of ballet class, no break. So we have our class and then the elite group class. And always, the principals, he always said that if you really love something, you need to go for it. There is no excuse. There is no, because, no, that doesn't exist. Or you go. That's it, yes. So it was really hard because we were sleeping in dorms. The food wasn't that good. No transportation. Bicycle pretty much for everywhere that you go. But if you're gonna dance, if you have a blister, if you have a headache, stomach ache, your tutu, it wasn't the most beautiful tutu, you're gonna dance, just dance. So it was kind of like that. And always he was really smiling, respectful, humble. It was an amazing guy. So all the time, it doesn't matter what happened during the day. It doesn't matter how many meetings he had or whatever, he always had the best presence that you can enjoy it in front of you.
Yeah, that's the same I felt, and I think that's probably like why we are the way that we are in our generation, because we have those role models. And you work hard, but we're people with really good heart and people that care about the dancers. And I remember once it was 90 degrees outside and I took my chair off and he just called me into the office that why I was taking my chair off, and then I was like sweating like crazy. And I said, well, it's really hot. And he goes, yeah, and if you get sick, what happened? And then he was always trying to find the other side to protect you.
And he never let any male dancer be in the studio without t-shirts.
Yeah.
No. Always really, you need to smell good, you need to be clean, And it doesn't matter if you have only one shirt. I don't know what you're going to do, but you need to be always clean.
No, and I really think, there are so many things that you guys have just said that I really feel you have effectively communicated as dancers and teachers yourself. There are so many things that I remember and have seen you guys teach that it doesn't matter. You have to leave everything that is not related to ballet outside. You come in, we are here to do ballet. And you have to, and if you do love it, nothing can stop you. There is, I'd say one of the greatest things that I felt that you have both passed on to me, and I've seen with other dancers as well, that there is, not to tritely say the show must go on, but to also know that there cannot be any excuse, that you have to be able to do this art form in any condition, rain or shine, you're not feeling good, it does have to continue. And I think that is a huge gift that you guys have given to the students and to the artists of the company and whoever works with you, especially nowadays. Look at how many things that there could be that are an impediment that could, if you give up too easily, it's too hard to dance at home, I'm not going to do it. Well, then you don't love it enough. You have to love it to do it in your bedroom, on the street, and the thing. So thank you both for that. I love that. That's awesome.
What was your first experience like in an American company? Because I know like you were in a company in Cuba, but then you transferred to America. So how was that different, or what was it like for you?
It was really different. And, you know, going from Cuba, actually, I went to Brazil for a year and I danced in Brazil. And I came from Brazil directly to here to Milwaukee. And the beginning was hard. One, because it was a huge change of culture. Not only, you know, the dancing is the same language, but the humans are different, and the way that they think is different. And for me, I didn't speak English at the time when I got here. I mean, I didn't know yes or no. That's as much English I knew.
Smile.
And a big smile. People would talk to me and just smile. They felt like I knew what they were talking about. But what I love of this company when I got here, this company has really always been about family. And I felt you know, that I got in and people really start giving me, you know, keeping me safe. It was a really safe place for me. The director that brought me here, Basil Thompson, you know, he was a great director and a great mentor. And the dancers that were here, you know, and the time that I got here, the company used to have principals, soloists, corps de ballet. It was different than now. And, you know, when you have company with rank, each one stand in a different place and they have their own place. And for me, I got new people start moving things around to make room for me and being there. And the dancing was the same, you know, like young dancer, I thought I could eat the whole world. And, you know, I was really cocky too in the beginning. I'm not going to lie to you. And, you know, you're coming from a different place and different young, and you think that you can do better than other people. And you learn, you know, I learned really fast. It wasn't about that. It was about more working together, being as part of a team. And you know, if you do that, you succeed. And I think that's what I'm a really humble person, and I like to recognize all my mistakes.
Yeah, I never danced here in United States like a professional dancer in any company. But when I left Cuba, I went to Mexico, and it was 3.5 years there. So when I got into the company, I got a contract from Cuba to Mexico. So that was the reason that I moved to Mexico. But I remember that it was a tall girl, kind of just a little taller than me, Mexican, applying for the spot in the company, and they say nothing to her. So because I was the foreign girl, they were looking at me kind of like, why they say yes to you and not to the other girl? So it was kind of a little uncomfortable for me, because I went there because they want me there. But it's nothing, you know. So it was a little hard for me at the beginning. But one day, that lady came to me and said, "Oh, Moni," they call me Moni. "Moni, if people are looking at you that way, it's because I'm the one who's trying to get into the company. I've been here for 2 years waiting to get into the company." So she was really honest with me. And I said, "But it's not my problem," you know, kind of like that. So we're still being friends here. But for me, it was from out of other place to come to the company and be there. So after 2 weeks, so I think the only thing that I need to do is just to work, be focused on myself and prove myself and the other ones that I deserve to be in the company. But I never had, never like a bad attitude, nothing like that. So 2 weeks later, that lady got the contract and peace and love. But we, you know, it's kind of like sometime in some moment of your life, you're going to face kind of like a little uncomfortable situation. Just you need to be yourself. You don't need to prove anything to anybody. Just be yourself.
I love that. And I love the idea, again, there's this perseverance thing. And I think the two of you really accurately portray a sort of determination mixed with positivity with the art form. I'm curious if you guys, because you, as you said, you've worked with these people who are these iconic dance makers and teachers and things. I'm curious for these pre-professional guys, and for myself as well, are there any trends or characteristics in the current ballet world that you see as either positive, an improvement on what used to be, or negative, and it's like, oh, we've gone off track, we need to kind of back it up to this place? I was just curious on your perspective on that.
No, I mean, for me, I think it's a lot of positive. I think we always need to move forward. Ballet is something that is developing and moving in a different direction. And like we said in the beginning, it's more about each individual. What do you want to do, and how much you love this. And then in that way, I don't see much change. The people that really want to do this and they love it, they don't look for an excuse. They work hard and they try to do their best. The problem that we're running out now is we have tons of dancers, more dancers than before, applying for these jobs, and we have less and less jobs. Because the way the economic work with the arts here, you don't get that much funding for the art, and then a lot of companies have closed, and then a lot of the dancers hang as long as they can into their jobs to keep doing what they love, and then you get less and less contract. Sometimes what I see in the trend is, we tend, as a human being, we tend to excuse a lot and blame other people and not look at ourselves and things like that. And that's what I say. It's nothing better than stay honest with yourself. Look at her. Don't think that person is better or worse than you. It's all about you. The moment you start comparing with somebody, then you are out of what do you really love and what do you think about. That healthy competition is great, but it's more about what do you want to do and how you want to accomplish that.
It's not to lose your focus. What is your goal? That's my goal. Well, if it takes a little longer to get into whatever you want to be, that's okay. Life is a journey, so you need to go little by little. You can modify a few situations, something like that, but always you need to be honest with you. And you cannot be kind of like, okay, I'm good, I'm going to be, I don't know, in Mars. No. It's not like that. So you need to try to find your own space, your own spot. And honestly, you need to find a place to work that you're really going to feel happy. I know people are, okay, I need to pay the rent, I need to do this, I know money is important. But the most important thing is just to be happy. Whatever you decide to do or whatever you want to accomplish, you need to be happy. That's the best dream. Happy and then later. Okay, so it's really, everything is changing a lot. But try to take classes, read, watch videos, get a lot of information. World's going super fast, and in blink of the eye, everything changed. So as the more that you read, get all the information, the better dancer you're going to be. So that's the only thing. And for no any reason, don't give up on your dream. Somehow, or you're going to dance now, in 2 years, 1 year, something, but don't give up on your dreams. Trust yourself and listen to your inner voice. That's really important too.
That is very good advice. Very good. I love it. This is making me feel very good. So no, but I knew that talking about these things was going to be valuable, not only for them, but for you guys and for me, because that is absolutely the correct focus. So that's fantastic. Let's take a look and see. We have other questions, guys? Yeah, Grace, go for it.
So you kind of talked about this, but what made you stick with ballet as a career?
Well, for us, and like I say, I started loving it, and the way that we were raised different. Our schools in Cuba is a different system. When you kind of are choosing for that, then after that you start loving it, and it's like Monica said, we never did this for love. We never made more than $2 in Cuba when we were dancing a month, and then you just fall in love with this lifestyle, and you do whatever you want. You want to do. You travel the world. You see the world in different way. You are still my age. I'm a little child. I'm always getting in trouble for something that shouldn't be getting in trouble, but in dreaming around, and I think it's that lifestyle is what keep you engaged in this, and keep your soul full of, what you do and how many people you touch with a performance. If you do a performance for a Nutcracker, you take 20,000 people. See, that's 20,000 people that you touch just with a simple smile or a simple movement. That is powerful. Then I think if people start grasping that, it is, that's what you will always take to this lifestyle.
It's when to fall in love with, you say, what do you think about that person? You say, I cannot explain, because it's more than words. I think in my case, ballet is like kind of like electricity in your body. I don't know. I can honestly, if I were born again, I would be a dancer again. When I moved to United States, somebody in my family say, oh, why you're not a nurse? I don't like to be a nurse. Why you don't study realtor? To be
Real estate.
Real estate. They say, I don't like it. What are you going to do? I don't know. I need to learn a little English, but I need to find some place to teach, because the only thing that I can imagine in my life is just ballet. I went to college before I came to Milwaukee for 4 months, something like that, to work a little in my English. My real English I learned here in Milwaukee, not in Miami. But anyway, I tried to do my best. So I went to college, and all the ladies that were close to me in my classroom, was, oh, I'm going to be a nurse, I'm going to be this, and that. I was sitting, everybody was talking, say, ballet? I don't know where I'm going to go, I don't know when I finish, if I'm going to find a good school, I don't know, but I can imagine my life doing another thing. So it's something like it's just inside of you. And that's what I said before, listen to your heart. I don't know, I can explain, just I think like a really powerful and amazing when I used to dance. And now teaching to you guys is an honor to teaching all of you. Yeah, it's just you feel it. You don't know how, but it's just there.
And there are some perks, actually. You just mentioned the traveling and the touring, which is not something that we as a company right now in Milwaukee do, but I know you guys have been on tour, and I'd love to hear if you had any favorite spots that you traveled to, either in South America or in Europe or anywhere. I would love to hear your travel destination of choice. Would be very cool.
No, I mean, for me, I went to, I toured for a month in Brazil and Mexico, more South America. They all were different. I think it's just that excitement of, you wake up in the morning, get in the bus, get to the theater, dance, go to the hotel, wake up in the morning, get in the bus, then pretty much for a month you live in a bus, and it's that when you're young, you don't look at that, you see places and meeting different people around the world, and some of them you didn't speak the language, but somehow you communicate with them. And I think that excitement, see new places and meeting new people, it was really exciting. That's what I can say.
Yeah, it's amazing. I went to Japan for a competition in '96. And then I lived in Mexico for 3 years and a half. Then I went to Jamaica. And then I went to Peru. And then, but most amazing experience when I went to Argentina. I met Marianela Núñez. just a few months before she went to the Royal. Maximiliano Guerra, he used to be a dancer in La Scala Milan. Now he has a company in Argentina too. That guy was amazing. When I was with Carlos Acosta in the school, but he always wear like Carlos Acosta, not my friend, something like that. But when I went to Argentina and I met a Maximiliano Guerra, he was Maximiliano Guerra. You know, like somebody that I didn't know. And that guy was an amazing, amazing person. We went for 40 days in Argentina. Like Rolando said, in an autobus. We went to Uruguay. So all the time in the bus. That guy, not all the time was with us, you know, because he need to go a little ahead with us. But one day we went to he was invited for a dinner in a really fancy restaurant. And that guy said, if the whole group is not with me, I'm not going. So, you know, we were like eating so many fancy food that we didn't have. So that was really beautiful experience because at the end, we are human. It doesn't matter what is your status or something like that, you are human. We are at the end, we were artists too. So that was like a 40 days. He called me Flipper because my laugh, hey, like that. So, you know, really, really amazing guy. And then Maria Elena Nunez, I met Maria Elena Nunez. That lady was like, you know, she was 12 years old, we were 22, and we were like, what is that? So, and then in that tour, we have Luciana Paris. She was principal at ABT. But before that, she was a partner with Julio Boca. And that lady was 15 years old at that time too. So it was, you know, after that tour, my life completely changed. I was 22 years old, but it was enough for me to be, wow, now I can die. Because it was amazing, honestly, yeah. So, yeah, that's it. That was my best experience ever about famous people, you know, like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So fun. I love that. Okay, guys, any other questions from you? Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Yay.
Whoa. This has never happened before.
At the beginning, it's kind of like nobody want to talk.
I knew this was going to happen. All right, let's do this. Let's do Ariana and then Marissa. Okay? In no particular order. Let's just go there. Ariana, go.
Do you think that this whole like isolation and COVID-19 thing, do you think it's really a test of like dancers' true dedication to ballet?
Wait, can you answer? I couldn't hear your question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think this whole like isolation and COVID-19 and having to do class at home by ourselves, do you think it's really like a good test of a dancer's like dedication to do ballet and like their drive?
I think that once for this slow down everybody to think about other things and to get in touch with other people that never been there. And exactly, it gives you guys the chance now to take a class and finding for yourself what we're saying, because we are not there to touch you, say, you know, you have to move this, then you really have to know your body. Then this is a very challenge. It's a challenge for you guys to say, you know, I know my body. When they say you any correction, you know what we're talking about. And you don't have that person next behind you to try to fix you. That means that you have to use your conscience a little more. And I think a lot of good things will come out of this, especially for ballet dancers. They want to stick to this and take class every day. Those are the ones they're going to move forward in this career.
Yeah, I think that was a big lesson to everybody, that you need to live one day at a time. Also, if you love something, because you have something to hold you back, that doesn't mean that that's the end. That's the end of you. So if you have that situation that like now, pretty much we're taking the class in the room, it doesn't matter. Because when everything coming back to normal, you need to be ready for that moment. If you go to a company and you are like in the back, like a second or who knows, fifth cast, you want to sit in the back or you're going to be in there to learn every single spot, because you never know when going to be your moment. So this situation that we are living right now is just for you to prepare for what's going to happen in the future for you. So that's what I said. It doesn't matter the adversity. You need to be mentality ready. Because if you love something, nobody can say you cannot do it. Nobody can say that to you. So I think that situation that we're living for everybody is a really good lesson. So be patient, get ready, just to fly. Yeah.
So my question is, I know early in the year I talked with Rolando about like, because I would get really frustrated and he could definitely see it on my face. And he told me like just to like take a deep breath and calm down. I was wondering if either of you had kind of like that inner voice that would tell you negative things and how you kind of just like made it be quiet and just you were confident in yourself.
It's hard because for us, I think our lives are so different in the times that we lived when we were in Cuba. You know, we were so busy about trying to find food, like Monica said, trying to do all the thing and trying to figure out how we're gonna survive. And on top of that, dance was the escape. Then I don't think we have that moment of doubt in that way, because when you go to a school like ours, you already are choosing to either go to a company or go to teach. You don't have a choice. And then that's the hard part. You know, it's like you don't have those moments that you say, oh, do I love this? Do I gonna make it to a company? If you don't make it, you know, they say, you know, you're gonna go teach. That you have no choice. But I do understand your point, you know, of how you guys feeling and things like that for yourself. And like Monica said, you know, and I talked to you about that. It's a company in this country for everybody. Maybe it's not the company that you think or the company that you would like to be, but you will find that it's a company out there, and when you find that, you will love it because that is the right company for you.
There is, I think everybody in some moment of our life feel a little like, I don't know if I'm doing something right or wrong. Because we are human and sometimes we are kind of like something is not like the way that we expect it to happen. I don't know. But I think little by little, that being the experience with age, but that's the beginning of our conversation. If you love something, you need to be smart. You know what is doing something wrong or something right. If you're making a mistake, like for example, if you're doing some pirouettes, today probably doesn't happen. But what can I do? You cannot make the same mistake, right? You know what to do in order to accomplish that pirouette well executed. So that's where you need to work. Be a little patient. Sometimes we push ourselves too much. And because you push yourself too much, that doesn't mean that you're going to be like that. It won't happen. Sometimes you finish your whole career as a professional and it will be only one step that will always will be like a nightmare for you. You know, so it's kind of like that. Take it easy. That doesn't mean that you need to relax, but you need to work smarter. Take your time to analyze what is the problem, what is the situation, what is the correction was this way, that why that, something like that. So you need to have a little honest conversation to yourself and try to understand what is things doesn't going well. When I was 15, I told you that story. I grew so fast, my bone in my toe didn't grow. So I had 1 year without walking, but I went to school every single day to take my classes and to watch ballet classes. Some of the parents say to my mom, your daughter never gonna dance. Because he's like that tough. It's not no, not like that. And then my mom was quiet. And one day she told me that, Moni, you know what? They say, Mama, I was 15. They say, that's okay. I need to be focused in my food because I'm going to dance. I was scared. Honestly, I have in my room all Maya Plisetskaya pictures in the room. As soon as I got surgery in my foot, no ballet because I was scared. But inside of me say, no, that's what you love. Just you need to give yourself a little time. And that's it. So 1 year, no walking. And then later I went back to the studio, music starts, and said, that's mine. That's what I love. So I was back to myself. So the whole idea is don't push yourself. Take time. Be smart.
Words to live by, for sure. I want to real quick cycle back because you touched on briefly time in Japan, and I know, having spoken with you, that you are very involved yearly with competitions over there, and I know that you see a lot of dancers, and I think it would be, especially because I remember as a young dancer myself, there's school, and then there are competitions, and then there are different ways that everybody, like we've been talking about, finds their way to find their place in the ballet world. But since everyone is different, I'd be curious to hear from you things that you see that stand out as things that you look for when you judge a competition, things that set dancers apart for you guys. I'd love to hear about.
Well, for me, when I'm going to competition is, I look at all the technical side because that's part of the competition. And then one of the things that you always look the most is how people connect. Can a dancer connect, and even in a classical variation, with the audience and tell you who they are and what story is behind that? It's not just pure acrobatic in the stage. And I think that's the main thing. Even when I do competition audition, I always tell people, I love to see in a ballet class, in a bar, or in this, like, who you are as a dancer. Because I think that we all dance together sometimes, but we all are unique and we have something to offer. And I think it's finding that something to offer what gets me in competition. When I see somebody that can offer something, has a beautiful port de bras, or connect with people the way that you look at the audience and things like that, combined with a great technique, it puts that dance apart from other dancers, and that's what I look at the most.
Yeah, I'm agree with Mr. Yanes.
One of the things that stands out to me when I think about the way that you both teach and the emphasis that you place is, I know that Milwaukee Ballet School, one of the biggest things coming from another school for myself that I saw, the emphasis on the partnering was overwhelmingly comprehensive and very, very good, very intense as far as training for the men, and also very much trusting the students with material. There was nothing, I don't think, I've never seen either of you shy away from this is what it is. We're gonna do torches, we're gonna do butterfly, we're gonna do it. I know you both have extensive pas de deux backgrounds. I'd be curious to know what was maybe one of the most difficult or challenging pas de deux for you as a dancer, or as a coach. I think that always is interesting to me, and I'm sure it'll be interesting to the kids as well to hear, because I know that we always run into that one thing where it's like, oh God, how am I going to do this? So I'd love to hear if you had any stories about that.
I Well, honestly, still today I cannot see it. That's the Arabian, the last lifting of the Arabian dance. This one.
Oh, the jump.
Honestly, I'm scared of that one. So I did Esmeralda Ballet long time ago, and that was that lifting. Never happened. I was scared to death. So every time that my partner lifted me, I say, somehow I force him to bring me down. It doesn't matter. It wasn't the show. But after that he put me on control, and then I started creating my own little to cover the music. But I was still scared of that lifting.
That's a scary one. More scary for the ballerina, I think, than the man. The man just stand there, and if he's strong, you go. But jumping backwards, I always talk whenever I teach or I talk to my partners. It's like I'm very happy to be in the position I'm in. I would not want to be jumping backwards into that. But Rolando.
No, for me, I mean, I love partnering. That's one of my favorite, classes, and when I dance, it was my favorite. I always want to dance. But I think one of the lifts I always was most scared, believe it or not, was it's the jeteng attitude. When you lift, the lady goes all the back, because if you cannot control with your wrist, it can flip to the other side.
Yeah.
Yep. But all the other one, to me, tricks and all that, I found those really easy. Partnering was like, I loved when I started taking partnering in the school. That was my favorite class. And then when we got into the company, we used to do two things. One is a turn competition after class, and partnering competition to see who was the best partner. Then all those competition after the class, it made us really like, you took that fear out of everything. And
there's nothing you can't do at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
Honestly, I prefer to be in point shoes, not to be a guy to lifting anybody. It's fun. It's fun to be lifting.
I love it. Okay, guys, any other questions? We've kind of jumped around a lot. Grace, I saw a hand move. No, just kidding. No more questions? That's it? All right.
Before I finish, I'm just going to, because none of you asked questions about us teaching. And that's where we are now, teachers. Okay, yeah. And I just want to talk a little, because I think it's important to us to people understand that dancing in a company is great, and you have that career. When you have a good career, it's great. But we never stop learning. And teaching has given us the opportunity to keep learning. Then we pass to you what our teachers pass to us, and we keep, putting everything out there. But at the same time, we're learning from each one of you.
Yeah.
Because it's something that I think is the most rewarding to me now. They have a lot of youth accumulate. It's rewarding to me. When I was young, dancing was like, oh, that's amazing. But now I look back and I go, you dance, and it's that hour or 30 seconds that you get there, that excitement. But teaching is an everyday thing. And even when you guys go to different places, we have that emotion that we were part of your life somehow. That we were able to put at least a little grain in there to help you get there and open that door for you. I'm not saying that we do everything for you, because I always say that we give everything the same to all the students. Each student take that individual, and you're the one that have to work hard to open your own doors and to open your own thing. But at least we touch you in somehow, and our hope is that we were as positive we could to make this career that's so hard, light and hard, and then you guys understand that you have to love this, and being humble, respect each other, and all those things. And teaching for me now, I think that is what I love the most, is that we can pass that to you.
No, even when we finish the class or rehearsal, and we see your faces like, oh, didn't work or whatever. We come back to home thinking, okay, so tomorrow we can do something. You know, it's all the time we are thinking about you. In this case, PPTP, I say always to you guys, my morning was better because of you. I love my other classes, but in the morning, to wake up, okay, I have a good reason to wake up. I'm not an early person, a morning person, honestly. I'm still getting better because of you. But always I feel myself motivated because when you love what you do, life change. So if you have a reason now, like Ariana said before, oh, do you think this COVID and then we stay isolated will be? Yes, because now you start getting prepared to the moment to come, to open the door and keep going. It was really a privilege to be teacher of you and the rest of the students in the school. We were really lucky to have, in this case, you guys in the morning, because we were speaking the same language. You're gonna dance. You were respectful. Sometimes we were kind of silly, everybody in class, having a good time. You know, it's when you have inside your room passion, respect, kindness, and everything, life can be amazing. So thank you to you, ladies.
Yeah, and even to you, Parker. Like I saw you know, coming to the MB2 and seeing you in the company and
teaching the boys.
And most beautiful that is what you give back to those kids to encourage them to keep doing the same that you did. You know.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Well, I learned it by example. I mean, I can't tell enough about how the attitude that you both have brought to the school and the second company, working with you both as a dancer and as a student. I hope that the pre-professional kids and the MB2s and everybody who's worked with you realizes how lucky they are. Because I know that right now it is very much a trend in the ballet world that schools with names will accrue talent, and talent wants to go to these places. But I think that that master teaching is when you can take something and make something grow from within. And I've seen you both do that, and I've felt the effects of that. And it's not just, oh, you've already got everything and I'm going to stand next to you, and but you really cultivate talent. And there, like I've said before, you entrust the work to the dancer. You don't say, well, they're at this level, so we're just going to do this. You go, no, they're at this level, and this is the repertoire, and this is what is demanded, and this is the standard. And that makes people better. That made me better. I've seen it make other people better. So just, I hope people realize how amazing you two are, and just a round of applause for you guys. I really appreciate you taking the time to discuss a little bit about your careers and everything, and advice. And I hope people are taking notes and that this gets shared with everyone over social media and all of those things. So bravo. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for this, guys. Thank you, Parker. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys. I love you both very much.
I love you.
Thank you guys for joining us again today. And stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully talk again very, very soon.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.